separating the components of mixture. What is a mixture, children? What is a mixture? It is not a pure substance. It does not have a fixed melting point or boiling point. A pure substance, it has a fixed melting and boiling point. This element, compound, they are pure substance. They have fixed melting point, they have fixed boiling point. Mixture, it is not a pure substance. It is a mixture of two or more things in any quantity. Say water and salt, water and sugar. This is what? It is a mixture. Now, we have to find out that how we can separate these mixtures, right. Some very simple means are, that is sieving. Sieving is what? You have that channi, filter, you can say. You might have seen some, especially in villages, you must have seen that the wheat, they are sieved, and the particles of mud, or you can stone, they are, or you can say husk particles. Husk are very light, the covering, outer covering of the wheat grains, that is husk. So, that is usually removed by sieving, or you can say channa, right. So, this is sieving. Then these are all simple physical means. Simple physical means. Simple physical means just by physically, you can say hand. One more method is hand picking. Hand picking. That is beanna. In Hindi we say beanna. From wheat, particles of stone, they are removed by picking by the hand, right. Then one more method is filtration. Filtration is what? All of you know tea. How do we separate the tea leaves from the tea? When tea is made, after that what do? That tea we put in a sieve. Sieve is channi, right. So, the leaf of the tea, they remain on that sieve, and tea we get in the mug or cup, right. So, this is filtration from our daily, you can say day to day life or examples, right. So, these are all simple physical means. Then some special techniques are also applied, children. Now, if suppose you have ink, red ink, blue ink, or you can say right, red ink, blue ink if you have, and in this ink there are different components. Now, these different components of ink, how they can be separated? How you can separate the different components of ink? For this, what do we do is that we take a beaker, and in this beaker we take water. This is a beaker, and in this beaker we take water, and this water, it is heated this is burner. It is heated, and on this beaker you keep a watch glass. A watch glass is taken. This is what? This is watch glass. It is small, you can say conical. A small cone means you can say a round shape, you can curved shape. It is made up of glass, right? And in this watch glass, you take this ink. what you have done is, you have taken a beaker, in that beaker you have taken some water, on that beaker you have kept a watch glass. This watch glass, in this watch glass you have taken ink. What you are doing is, you are separating the component of mixture. What mixture? Ink. Ink is a mixture of different dyes. It is blue ink, you have seen blue ink, you have seen red ink, right? And this ink, it contains dyes. Now you have to separate these dyes. So what you are doing, how you are doing? You are heating water, and on that water you have kept watch glass, and in that watch glass you have kept ink. And this ink, it has different dyes, and you have to separate. Now what will you do when you will heat? Then what will happen? The components of the ink, the solvent will get evaporated, and solid particle, or you can say dye, it will be left here on that watch glass. Why don't you heat directly? Why don't you heat this, why don't you keep this watch glass directly on the burner? We don't keep directly, but instead we take some water, and on that water, when you heat some water, then you will see that the vapors of water, they will heat the ink, because this ink, if it is directly heated, it will decompose into its constituents on directly heating. But indirectly heating, that is heating water, and by vapors of water you are heating this ink, you can separate the components of the ink, that is dye, and dye will be left here, and solvent will, or liquid will go into the air, right. So this way, and practical application. Practical application of this. Practical application. Practical application means how do we apply in our daily life sea water. Sea water contains what? Salt. How that salt can be separated from sea water? By this method, that is separating the component, right. So how we are separating? We are heating that. On heating, what happens? Salt will be left here and water will go away, right. So here you will see that what is salt? This is solute, you can say solute. And what is water? It is solvent. The same in case of ink. This dye, it is solute, and the liquid which is present here in ink, that is called as solvent. The solvent is volatile. Volatile means what? And this is non-volatile. Same in case of this sea water. Salt is non-volatile and water is volatile. Volatile means evaporates on heating. This also here in case of this ink, the dye which we are separating from the liquid, that dye is solute, it is non-volatile, and the liquid which is solvent here, that is volatile, means when you heat it will get vaporized, right. In this way you can separate the this is one of the method, and this method is name is evaporation. Evaporation means you are heating and the liquid gets evaporated, that is solvent gets evaporated and solute is left. Next method, it is centrifugation. Just now in case of colloids, I told you that the dispersed phase and dispersion medium. Dispersed phase you cannot separate by filtration, because size of particle is not so big that it will be left on the filter paper, but by centrifugation, that I told you. And now what is this centrifugation? It at your home you might have observed that when the curd or cream, when means your mother takes out that ghee from cream, or when she takes curd and she takes the curd in a utensil and she with that this thing you can say what does she do? How do she separates the butter from cream of the milk? What does should she do? She take that cream in a vessel, and then with that hand that we call it as billowy. No? She billows like this, right? She does it like this. Then what happens? Butter comes up and liquid which is of no use, that is left at down, right? So this is one way of this is centrifugation. What happens? One component is heavier in case of centrifugation. This principle, what is the theory or principle? One of the component that is either solute or solvent, it is lighter and the other is heavier. So principle will be that it will be separated on the basis of densities, difference in the densities. One is lighter and one is heavier. That which is lighter, it will come up, and that which is heavier, it will settle at the bottom, right. So in this way, butter, it is separated from the cream by centrifugation method. And one more application of this centrifugation in this washing machines. The clothes are being washed in the machines, and what happens when they are washed? Then water from them, it is taken, what is done? That machine rotates, cloths also rotates. In those cloths water is there, and on rotation what happens? Water goes out and the cloth remains in the machine only. In this way the clothes get dried, or you can say that water, it is being removed from the cloths, right. So this is the practical application of this method, that is centrifugation. Then full cream milk, the milk which we get from cow or buffalo, that is full cream. Full cream means it has full cream, right. Now cream is being separated from that milk by this centrifugation. It is this milk, it is rotated on high speed. So what happens? The creams being lighter, it remains on the top, and the milk, it remains at the bottom. Now this is toned milk. The milk which you get here, it is toned milk. Toned milk means it contains some cream. Some cream means a little cream is left here. Some is separated. This is full cream milk. When it is rotated on the high speed, then this butter, or you can say cream, is left here, and the milk which you get after that rotation, that is toned milk. And this toned milk, it contains a small amount of cream. Again it is rotated on high speed, then whatever cream is left there, it is whatever cream is present here, it will be separated, and now you will get double toned milk. That will be completely free from this butter, or you can say cream, right. So, in these are all the practical application of centrifugation. Then to separate, next method, it is to separate. First method what we have done is, first one which we have done, it is what? We have separated components of, or you can say dyes from the ink. That was evaporation. Practical application, salt from seawater. Second method what we have done is centrifugation. That is cream separated from milk, or in the washing machine clothes are rotated to separate water from them. Then next is, if suppose immiscible liquids. Immiscible means immiscible liquids. Immiscible means the liquids, they do not mix with each other. Say water and oil. If you put some oil in water, then what happens? You will see different layers of water and oil. They do not get mixed up. That is immiscible liquid. Now, if you have mixture of water and oil and you have to separate them, then what happens? You will have to take a separating funnel. What is this separating funnel? This is the funnel, and in this funnel you have a mixture of oil and water. These oil and water, they are immiscible. Immiscible means this is oil and this is water. You have two different layers of oil and water. Here there is a stopcock. With the help of stopcock, you can open and you can close it. This is the end of the funnel, right. Now, this is the separating funnel. In this separating funnel, you have taken two immiscible liquid. Immiscible liquid means they will not mix with each other. Example is water and oil. Why they will not mix with each other? Because they are immiscible. And what is the principle? What is the theory of this method? The density. Density means that one which is lighter, it will remain up, and one which is heavier, it will go down. So, you have two different layers, that is oil and water. This is the stopcock. This is separating funnel, and if you have to separate, then what will happen? What you will do? You will open this stopcock until all the water is down. You will let it open, and when all water has gone down, then you will close it. Whatever is left in the separating funnel, that will be oil, and what comes down in the beaker, that will be water, right. So, next method of separating of the mixture of two immiscible liquid, it is by separating funnel, and this principle or theory, it is based on the density. Density means one is lighter and one is heavier. This is lighter and this is heavier. That which is heavier, it will settle at the bottom. That which is lighter, it will stay on the upper. It will stay as an upper layer. So, this is the next method of separating the mixtures. So, three we have done till now. First is evaporation, second is what? Second is here, that is centrifugation, separation of cream from the milk, and the third, that is separation of immiscible liquid, that is done by separating funnel. Next we will do in the next class, children.